Hi you guys, and welcome back to Tantor ASMR. This is going to be a no mic, lo-fi, soft-spoken video. I am gonna do maybe some little like absent-minded tapping. But I wanted to do kind of a life update video. I did post a video, I don't know, maybe last week, and my grandpa had just died, and I rewatched the video and I wasn't happy with it, so I took it down. But I wanted to redo the video and talk a little bit about what's been going on the last couple months, do a little bit of an update on my medication journey and my mental health journey that I posted about back in May. So this is a continuation of that video. If this isn't your cup of tea, totally get it. This is not my standard video, but if you are interested, stick around. So when I posted that video, I was obviously not in the best mental shape. I'll be honest, just to be super transparent. When I chose to get on medication, I chose to do it because I had already written a suicide note and I was going to kill myself, and it had gotten to the point where I was getting pretty scared that I was going to follow through on it. I took about a month to write it, and it still really wasn't done. It was 11 pages. It was getting a little lengthy. And then I started taking my medication, and I was very anti-medication for a long time. Totally saw the need for it and like saw people who I personally knew succeed with it, but I'm just a very like, I want to fix it myself type person. And you know, I started going to the gym a couple years ago, which for sure helps. Do that first if you're struggling. Really does help. You know, I've been in therapy for years at this point, and I was doing everything, and I was like, why isn't this working? I was going through some life changes and just issues with myself and some people around me, and you know, I didn't want to be here, you know, and I still sometimes don't. I'll be real with you. I'm having kind of a bad day. The medication helps a lot. It really does. But, you know, there's still days where I'm down. You're still sad, you know, it's not a miracle worker. But without that medication, I genuinely don't think I would be here. And so I'm here now to advocate for medication because it saved me, and I do think it has the capabilities of saving other people. So with that being said, the medication that I'm on is called Pristiq. I was started out on 50 milligrams, and then that helped, like, I would say like 60%. It definitely took my anxiety away. It's an antidepressant, and it has off-label benefits for anxiety, OCD, and PMDD, all of which I struggle with. So it was like my golden medication, if you will. I was really happy my doctor prescribed it. It can be a little hard to prescribe, and I do believe its sister medication is called Effexor, and I believe that one's a little more widely prescribed. And insurance sometimes doesn't want to take it, but thankfully mine did. And yeah, so my anxiety with the medication went away, which is insane for me. I've struggled with anxiety my entire life. It is very few days that I have anxiety now, and that is life-changing. That alone is seriously enough, like, for me to be like, yeah, I'm staying on this. The depression lessened when she upped my dose to 100 milligrams. I did have a 2-month follow-up. You do need to wait about 2 months to fully see if it's working. When I made that video, I think I was only a week in, and I thought that I was like feeling it when I really wasn't. Once I passed the first month, I felt decent. When I passed the second month, I was like, okay, this stuff's really kicking in. But I was still having a lot of intrusive suicidal thoughts. So I told my doctor that. She upped the dose. And here we are. I think I've been on it for 2 months now at the 100. And this is actually the first day that I have had any type of suicidal thoughts at all while I've been on it. And I'm still going through a lot. Like I said, I just had a death in my family. My grandfather has passed away. We're dealing with my grandmother, who is very old and fragile, and it's really hard watching her lose her husband. I'm still working some things out in my personal life, and you know, it's been difficult. I'm going through a lot of growing pains in my life. I feel like I'm at a very pivotal part in my life where I don't know how much of it I want to stay the same and how much I want to change. I'm getting older. I feel like I don't want to waste my time. You know, I just want to be happy. And happiness has been so fleeting for me. It's very rare when I find myself completely happy. It sucks. And it sucks when you do get happy and it's swept away from you. I feel like that's just what keeps happening to me. I find it and then it's just gone. And it sucks. So, you know, it's hard. Life's hard, you know. But I thank one of my friends so much, who has always pushed me towards medication, who I always kind of rebuffed, who her life changed because of it. You know, I remember, I don't know what it was, 2 or 3 years ago, she was sitting on my couch and she was like me, just catatonic, just so depressed, so at her wit's end. And I was scared for her because I was like, oh my God, like, I've never seen her like this. And we've seen each other through some shit. And she decided to get on medication. She's like a whole different person. And she's happy and she's driven. And she talks about how it freed her. And, you know, it was one of the main things that made me consider it. And I had an episode last year where I was going through kind of a similar thing. And I was like, if I ever get this bad again, I'm going to try medication. Well, it got bad and then some. Well, anyway, that friend called me the day, it was a day that I truly think if she didn't intervene, I would have done something. And I just woke up sad. You know, that's really what I was doing. I was waking up sad, crying, not getting out of bed. And it was one of those days, and I was going to the grocery store. And I was just like, today is just such a bad day. I'm about to end it all. And she called me out of nowhere and she talked me down on the phone. She talked me through making the doctor's appointment. She talked me through my fears of medication, and 2 days later I had my doctor's appointment and I got on it. And I truly don't think I would be here if it weren't for her. So, thank you, Logan. I love you, baby. It's hard. It's hard to know what to do when you're struggling in life. And I get that, you know. I think it just came down to the fact that I was so tired, and I've done a lot. I've done a lot of self-work in my life. You know, I'm not perfect. I never will be. But I've done a lot of fucking work to myself. The last couple years, I've had mental health issues more severely in the last few years than I have in a long time. And I put in that work. I did everything my therapist wanted me to do. I read the books. I did affirmations, I went to the gym, I meditated, I stopped taking caffeine. I did it all, you guys, and nothing worked, and that's okay. It wasn't my fault. It's my brain's fault, for having a chemical imbalance. And life circumstances don't help. I'm arguably in the worst life circumstance that I've been in ever. And, sometimes you just get to the pushing point and you're just like, okay, I need to fold and take this medicine. And I was lucky. My first one worked for me. It might not always work for me. I might get off of it. I might not get off of it. I don't know. But I'm staying on it for now. And, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with it. I just want everyone to know that, there's always an option there. It can be it can seem so easy to just want to take the easy way out and to give up and to go quiet and go dark. And I fucking get that. Believe me. If there's anyone who ever wants to just tap the fuck out, it's me. So I totally understand it, but I do also think there's so many good things in life, so many little things that it's just worth sticking around for, and there's someone out there who loves you, whether you think that or not. And I know that that's really hard to think about, especially when you're struggling. I mean, that's what had gotten me down today. Was I was sitting there, I'd went and got food at work, and if you couldn't tell from my last video, I don't have a very healthy relationship with my work right now. I'm trying really hard to just leave work at work, not talk too much at work. There's been some issues with me and a couple workers. And ultimately, coworkers are just nosy and love to talk about you behind your back, and I know they talk about me behind my back. I'm just over it. And so I just sit there and I do my work, and I don't get really chummy with many of them. But that makes my days really long. I'm a very social person, and, going from being a chatterbox at work to not really saying much to anyone is a hard transition for me. But and I also don't love what I do, and I've been on this big kick too. Do I try to find another career? Do I try to go to school? Do I whatever? And so anyway, I was at work today and I went to go get lunch, and I just sat in my car and I just cried. I cried through the Taco Bell drive-thru, cried in the parking lot while I ate my taco, cried in my office eating my nachos, and I was just I don't feel like I belong anywhere, I don't feel like anyone cares about me sometimes, even though I know they do. And I even had people reaching out to me, and I was just these people don't care, because that's what mental illness tells you. You're not in your right mind when you're, having those episodes, and it's hard to believe, that someone does love and care for you. I love and care for you. If you're sitting here watching this, I fucking love and care for you. I think you're doing good. I think you have more to put out in the world, and I hope you do that at whatever capacity. I don't care if you're waking up and just having a freaking bowl of cereal and watching TV. If you're happy doing it, do that. Do that. Just chase your happiness. Just don't give up. Don't give up on this, because I think of everything that I could have and would have missed if I would have killed myself the very first time I thought it. I was 12 years old when I thought that. And I would have missed such a beautiful life, even through the hardship, even though everything got me to where I am right now, and even though I'm unhappy right now, there was still lots of good moments that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And there's people who follow through on their decision, and they don't get to experience that. They're done. There's no more bad moments, but there's no more good moments either. and you're likely leaving behind friends and family who will miss you, and their lives are never the same. And it's just, I sympathize with it 100%, and I get it. I mean, I understand, dude. Like, I probably sympathize with it more than people think I should, but I also get sad for the life that they don't get to live. And, whenever I see that someone has ended their life, it really affects me, whether I've known them well or not, because it hits me so deep. And I just want everyone to find their purpose and their version of happiness, and, just live. You only get one life, you only get one life. Live it to your fullest potential and to the best of your ability. That's just where I'm at. I'm wanting to chase peace, chase happiness. I'm determined to get there. I'm not going to fold. I'm not going to take the easy way out, no matter how much it sounds appealing. And yeah, it's the route that I have chosen to stay here and live. And one day, I think I'll be very happy for that decision. Today, I'm a little peeved, and I'm going to go to sleep early and, watch a funny video or something. When you're having your bad days, I do think you need to give grace to yourself and do something that relaxes you, do something you like, watch a good movie, go get a massage, go outside, just do something that is good for you. And don't feel like you should be pressured to put on a face all the time and act like you're okay. It's okay to not be okay. Like I've always told people, you need to cry. You need a hug, I'll give you a fucking hug. Don't keep it in, you don't have to. So that, I don't know. That's just where I'm at. I'm sorry if this was a little ranty, but I am feeling a type of way today, and hopefully I like this video more than I liked the other one. But if you guys have any more questions or need to talk or anything, just drop a comment. I really, really do care about any fucking person in this universe who is struggling. Love you. Peace be with you. Thank you guys for watching.